really new, but it's been not really tested, right? So it's specifically designed to make this Django channel thing. So for me personally, it's too much work just to get a WebSocket working, right? You can just pump a Node.js server and it works already. So channel looks powerful. Let's see where they go from there, but it's very complicated to set up. The biggest thing about this is that it's very flexible to do a lot of things, which means you need to do a lot of programming to get a lot of things done. Okay, yeah, so my take on this is that I think it's too complicated just to implement an asynchronous solution. Maybe good for R&D if you're going to low-level stuff that require a lot of customization. Yes or no really depends on what you need to do it for. Okay, next one will be my favorite, Tornado. Has anyone heard of Tornado framework? Right, so Tornado framework, the difference between Tornado and Django, the main difference is that Tornado is designed to be asynchronous from ground up. When it was first created, it was created for friend feed. Right, anybody knows what's friend feed? Yeah. Okay, so Facebook's newsstream started from this thing called friend feed. So it was a startup that all they do is pump your friend's feed to the web page. So imagine if you have no application but you have a web page, right? How the news come in and things like that. I think probably 10 years ago, this was the method that was used, right? So the server that was powering it is Tornado. So today, after Facebook bought over this company, Tornado is now maintained by Facebook. And I'm not sure if they're still using this or not, but it's been powering the newsfeed for quite a while after the purchase. Okay, so the pros of Tornado is built with non-blocking in mind because it was used to serve very, very short snippets of news, right? All it does is that, pumping stuff out. And it has a lot of asynchronous options from the olden days long polling to WebSockets and coroutines that you can use today. And then just like Django, because it's a web framework, there's a lot of batteries built in. They have a non-blocking web server, unlike the one that Django is using. And then they also have an asynchronous client for you to do testing and stuff like this. And of course, the I/O loops and I/O strings which make all this asynchronous stuff works. I'm sorry if I didn't dive too deep into this, so if you guys want to ask questions, you can just ask it for now. So, okay, another thing is that it's also very pluggable, which means you can run Tornado with a lot of other stuff like Twisted or Django, or even async I/O in some cases. Right. One of the things that is good is that even until today, it's still maintained by the same group of 4 developers, including the new developers from Facebook as well. So the cons of this, it's more complicated to set up. Anything asynchronous is complicated, let's just put it that way, right? You have to rethink how you build your applications because it's not a linear stream of progress anymore, right? Things will come back anytime, right? So imagine writing Python app the way you are going to do JavaScript app, for example, right? That's how asynchronous works. So everything will be asynchronous already, right? And the batteries are pretty low level. If you notice, right, the web framework, although both Django and Tornado call themselves web frameworks, right, you don't see things like authentication or CSRF things on the Tornado level because they're focused a lot on the network layer, where you can see a lot of things like, you know, the coroutines, the servers, and the clients and stuff like that. Almost nothing is out of the box. You need to set up yourself. Like for example, if you said you want to use server behind, you need to decide whether you want to use a Tornado server or you want to use a WSJS server, or what kind of I/O loops you want to use. Everything you need to decide before you can get it going. So my take will be, it's actually not that hard to integrate with Django. I did this, it's fun. And it's one of the easiest way to make your Django app into a fully asynchronous app without touching Django at all. You can run your exact code base today, while just let Tornado handle all the asynchronous stuff. And I did a project where I used Django as my HTTP handler, and Tornado actually just fall back a lot of the WebSocket stuff, which means you can use push services and WebSocket with Django code base, which means you can use your ORM, you can use your URL routing, everything from Django works. There's a very quick option to scale Django. I'm going to show you how it's done later. So Tornado, yes or no? Yes. Alright. Okay. I think the next one will be the one that everyone has been talking about, async I/O. Just to make things very clear, async I/O is actually not a web framework. It's just something built into Python. Alright. So the pros is that it's in the Python standards library. I think that's about it. There's no comparison to either Tornado or Django. Cons is that You really shouldn't be bothered about this because you should be looking at the higher level frameworks and the tools that are using it, alright? Because by the time you need to deal with this you'll be working on very low level stuff like I/O operations and things like that, which as web developers we don't really care about, right? Let our web server handle it, we let our queue system handle it, things like that. So if you really want to go deep, it will be out of scope of this topic because we're talking about mainly web frameworks this time. Okay, so what you need to know about async I/O. Whatever tool or frameworks that you use, if there's an option for async I/O and you can use button tree, use it. Simple, right? It works with most of the web compared to previously, but there are actually ways of doing this in the past. Like you can actually use things like coroutines and training and stuff like this, right? But sometimes for simpler stuff like network handling and things like that, you do not want to dive into that kind of detail, right? You need that kind of fine-grained control or the kind of fine-grained performance. So async I/O is a very good layer on top where you can just use it compared to the other methods. So if you're implementing stuff like, for example, making Django or asynchronous and things like that, async I/O is a faster way of doing it compared to the older way, right? Okay, so